John Barrett has perfected the art of looking ordinary. He strives to be so boring and normal and uninteresting that he can wander in and out of parties and weddings and nobody notices.
Some of the tricks of trying to get my photo tonight would be, I may go in with my big camera if I feel like I could blend in. If not, I may just go in with a little camera and see if I can get off a few shots. When you have a little camera, people don't really think that you're official.
And that's how he got these photos of Roseanne's wedding, Eddie Murphy's wedding, John Kennedy at a benefit with his then-girlfriend, Carolyn Bessette, and tonight he's trying to slip into a party at the Waldorf.
The worst they could do is say, you know, you don't belong here, you can't stay in here, can I help you? I love when they say, can I help you? I mean, their way of politely saying, get the hell out of here.
But what if you're in your own home, like Mrs. Michael Jackson?
Well, I mean, if I saw a man with a camera, I would call the police.
Sometimes they do, and, you know, most of the time they don't. Most people don't care. They should mind their own business. They shouldn't care.
What do you mind their own business?
Yeah.
You're looking into their backyard.
Well, I know, but I'm on a public place. I'm not over their fence.
That's legal, but what about human? Human is, there's some man, Mommy, there's some man hiding behind the fence with a camera, looking at a camouflage uniform. Let's talk about normal here. You're the abnormal one, they're the normals.
It depends how you look at it. In my profession, I think I'm normal.
New York's coming in about 6 minutes at gate 41. Nashville's coming in about 8 minutes at 44.
Celebrities have to take planes. Here's Jim Smeal talking to his partner who has come to the airport every day for 6 years.
Get over here, quick. William Hurt's leaving. Get in here. Happy holidays, William. Good luck with the film.
We watched him for 3 hours while he snapped William Hurt.
Miserable. Hey, Robert.
Robert Townsend.
How you doing? Merry Christmas.
Jack Klugman.
Hey, Jack.
Keenan Ivory Wayans.
He's going to Boston in 10 minutes at 42B, so...
The key thing, be where the celebrity can't dodge you and be where no one else is or your exclusive is blown. 8 a.m. at Mrs. Jackson's. The bodyguard arrives right on time and heads up to the apartment, but he comes back out alone. No Debbie, no photo, not today.
Seems to be entering his car. He's probably leaving.
Gentlemen, we just got our first prowler call.
We're not prowling.
No, but you have permission, written permission to be on this premises to do what you do.
No, but they done this to me last week. They sent the swap team.
Debbie Rowe, Mrs. Michael Jackson, is not a movie star. She's not in show business. She's a nurse. Should she be subjected to this?
We're gonna call the police. Jose, don't touch that.
It's 1 month later, and it's Debbie Rowe's last day of work in the garage at the office.
Jose, would you call the police?
This video was taken by a paparazzo who felt free to enter the garage and move in to try to catch a glimpse of Debbie Rowe's face.
Call the police!
So here's Debbie Rowe cowering in a corner. And what can she do?
When we return, celebrities fighting back, even if it means crossing the line themselves. Turning Point will continue in a moment. Some of the most hotly pursued celebrities have decided they've had enough of the paparazzi invading their privacy, and they're attacking the problem head-on. Correspondent Robert Krowich reports John Kennedy Jr. is now trying to run interference for his new bride.
So I just asked any, privacy and
Guys, can you back up?
room you can give her if she makes that adjustment.
Go back
We
up.
greatly appreciate it.
John Kennedy has lived his life in the camera's eye. But in October 1996, just after his honeymoon, the press frenzy is at its peak. He hopes to make a deal. We'll stand here, pose, answer your questions, and then you go away.
Senior Little John's on the way. Little John.
You can see how well that worked. The new Mrs. Kennedy is too tempting a target. Though the couple kept their wedding private, Carolyn is getting her first taste of what John inherited with his family name. His mother, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, had her own paparazzo, the most famous of them all, Ron Galella. He followed her at close range for 4 years till she got the courts to grant her a 25-foot zone of privacy for herself, 30 feet for the children, and later when Galella violated that space...
I faced 7 years in jail, a $120,000 fine. So rather than yield to those, I gave my rights to photograph her. I agreed to not photograph her forever. Not just her, but the 2 children.
John and his sister Caroline have gotten somewhat used to the coverage.
I mean, I think that, you know, we're used to a certain degree of being watched, and I think that you're aware of it, even if you're not consciously aware. And I understand that there's interest, and certainly that interest has...
It's not interest, it's obsession, John.
Well, is that what it is?
Yeah.
You know, it has given both of us great opportunities, so I can't complain too much. Sometimes I wish it wasn't always that way, but then you wouldn't have invited me on your show if, you know, I was just somebody
I might have, John, you never know.
But sometimes even John Kennedy strikes back. In Hyannisport one summer, he took a bucket of water and dumped it on a paparazzi's head. Can a guy do his job? Can a guy have a life? This winter, he confronted his most persistent nemesis, a pair of photographers who took those embarrassing pictures a year ago, which they sold for $250,000. They show Kennedy and Carolyn Bessette fighting in the park. Angie Cochran and Ken Katz, you can see them behind the tinted glass of their stakeout van, have found John Kennedy so lucrative that they hound him the way Galella hounded Jackie. Just before Christmas, Kennedy told them to stop. He walked up to Angie in her stakeout van. You're watching paparazzi video here. First, John talks to her. Then he jumps on the hood of the car and reaches through the window to grab her keys. Angie rolls up the window on his arm. Carolyn tries to pull him away. And in the end, they got no privacy. They got this.
Why'd you use the phrase JFK goes berserk?
We could have had a headline that says, very interesting pictures of JFK inside. Is that going to sell us newspapers? No. You could have had a headline on your show that says, you know, Dick Morris gives a warm and candid interview. You don't do that. It's salesmanship. And on top of that, JFK did go berserk.
And against the power of a high-priced picture, what power does a celebrity have? Princess Diana climbed a hill in Switzerland to make what she hoped would be a private appeal to a camera crew.
As a parent, I want to protect the children because I brought the children out here for a holiday.
Right.
And we'd really appreciate the space.
I understand that.
We've had 15 cameras following us today.
Britain's big ITN network ran that private conversation and then fired the cameraman. It's not just the tabloids who run these pictures, we all do it. And how do they stop us? See what you think about this incident involving actor Alec Baldwin. The cameraman is shooting across the street from Baldwin's home. Alan Zanger wants to get a picture of the actor bringing home a newborn baby. For Baldwin, this is not a moment he wants to share. So here he's leaving his property, and he whips out a can of shaving cream covering Zanger's windows. Seems harmless, kind of clever, actually. So far, so good. But now remember, we're on a public street where everybody's allowed. When Zanger gets out of the van, Baldwin punches him, breaks his nose, blackens his eye, and then kicks him. The police arrested Baldwin, and he was tried for assault. Zanger insisted he did not provoke the fight. Here's his lawyer.
He was very apprehensive when he got out of the car, that he did not attack or attempt to attack or threaten Mr. Baldwin in any way.
But the jury's view,
Baldwin, not guilty of the offense
to the jurors, a cameraman across the street was a trespass, an invasion, and they said Baldwin had every right to react.
I felt he was threatened.
By the camera or by something Mr. Zanger said?
By a camera as a weapon, yes.